What's up, y'all? What's up? So, today I want to talk about heavenly peace to you and yours. That's one. That's first of all. Two, I want to piggyback on yesterday's conversation about choosing what is right for you, even though it might not be for you. So yesterday I was thinking about, my own, melanated women and why they should be appreciated from the modern day, the past, the future. And I came to the conclusion that the past we can't get back. So even it's like glorifying the past. Like if you was a football player, basketball player, that's cool. But now you work at Home Depot. So that's your present. Regardless of what you've done in the past, that's your present day. And I wanted to ask myself, would you still choose your own now? And I took some time to think about it. And I said, yeah, but I don't have enough information about why. And that was enough for me. And that was enough because I was seeking the answer of why too much, but we're detached. We're not just detached as people or a kind or ethnicity, we're detached as a world. So we don't even know what it means like to connect anymore. But it brings me to my next point. For those that are spiritual, you need to hold your ideas to yourself. Because this is what happened. Today I was smoking with my neighbors. And they were asking me about my future, right? And I told them about my aspirations, not all of them. Always keep information for yourself. Share, but withhold until you truly trust people around you. Mind you, they're not bad people. That's the point. Think when it comes to spiritual, it's not good or bad. It's does the energy intend to help or destroy? I won't say fully destroy, but does it deter you from your goal or not? That's how you're going to differentiate the energy. If it helps you with your goal, plus. If it doesn't, or if it's leeching, or if it needs your energy to survive, that's negative. So the energy there is negative. They're not bad people, but they're siphoners. So I'm getting to the talking. He specifically asked me a question about my future, and I give him an honest answer. He says, yo, what, let me send you. He doesn't say, let me get your number. He says, let me send you something. Like a kind of like a TikTok or like a Instagram. Like, let me send you this video right quick. And I'm like, why can't you just show me the video? He says, let me send it to you. Because he wants to attach himself to my future, even though it's not manifested yet. I said, okay, I get it. Mind you, not bad people. Not bad people at all. But you have to understand certain people feed on other dreams, feed on other imaginations, feed on other stories, feed on other future stories, feed on the essence. And that's how I know God is real. Because in another timeline, I could be seen as delusional, crazy. But what happens when people believe your delusion? Are you still delusional? Or are people becoming believers of your delusion? That gave me confirmation in a weird way. I didn't feel bad, but I was like, you know what? I need to move. Because instead of his energy saying, hey, you know what? I believe in what you got going on. Let me link up with you. See, the same thing, different approach. And that's how you need to discern with spirits and energy. What was their approach? Female or male, old or young, righteous or, otherwise. Even good people might have an intention. That's what I've realized. Even good people might have an intention. And it's not wrong. Just what was their approach for the intent? That's how you're going to know if they're true or not. For instance, if a man wants to have sex with a woman, if his approach is right, he can get what he wants. If his approach is wrong, his desire was the same, but the approach switched the game up. For my women out there, you might want something from a man. If your approach is right, you get what you want. If your approach is wrong, you might get an attitude, or he might get an attitude with you, or he might get an attitude with you and still not give you what you want. The approach is married to the intent. And that's just how my day is. 3, clean up for this new transition. Clean up, change your whole energy. Imagine the self you want to be and say, how do I get there? Even if it's day by day. I just did a little bit of art, did the details. I did a few things. It's not nothing extra, maybe 30 minutes max, but show dedication, devotion, and consistency in what you want. This is the year. This is the year. For my men out there, if you want to get more money, if you want a girlfriend, a wife, a fiance, if you want to build your world, if you want a home, day by day progress, and also isolation, and void yourself from distraction. Lastly, still do good for yourself. Don't go full-fledged hermit and just put everything into the journey of goal. That's productive and ambitious, but it will burn you out. Try to still have fun with it. For my women out there, if you want maybe a husband, a boyfriend, whatever else y'all like, if y'all want more money, if you want more friends, if you want whatever y'all want. I don't know what y'all want. But the point I'm trying to make is this. For the women, it might be a bit different, but the intent is all the same. For my women, picture what future you want. Not delusional future. Picture what future you want through imagination. Now, once you picture that, it can be delusional or not, but the less delusion, the better. Picture it. Say you want a home. Say at this point you have an apartment, right? And you want a home, you want a man, and a child. Let's just keep it simple, right? How you're going to start is this. You're going to start to say, what type of men do I already be kicking it with? You might have a work boyfriend. You might have a little situationship that you fucking on the side, whatever, which, no judgment. And then you might have another one, right? That's 3 men. So in circulation. Then you got to say, which of those 3 do I resonate with the energy the most? Because what women don't know how to do is to conserve. They can conserve for themselves, but when it comes to conserving mental, you need to cut down, they don't know how to learn how to minimize your thought process to focus on what you truly want out of life. You'll get it quicker. If you want a man, this is how the mind of a woman should work. All right, cool. First, find a man that you trust and say, what do men want? Because the only way to get close to what you want, you have to know what you want, what it wants from you. I could have said it better, but too many wants, and it confused me. If you want something, you have to know what you wants you back. So, for instance, say I want something to eat. I have to know how much the food costs, because I can't just pull up in there and say I want something to eat. I could, but my denial rate is higher. If I knew my meal cost $20, I need to bring at least 30. Why? Because I might want more. I might want more in that sector of what I want. That's how you prepare yourself for your blessing. Secondly, you got to ask yourself, do I want what they have at this particular restaurant? Do I want what this meal is willing to offer? And then say you find out, because a lot of times people pick things based on what we truly don't want based on our circumstance. You know, oh, I want to eat something, but I'm broke, so I got to go to McDonald's. But do you really want to eat McDonald's? That's how life is. Life is that maximized. If you can't have what you want, you need to save up for it. If you don't want to get to McDonald's, you need to maybe eat an apple, eat a banana, eat something to carry you over until your money is right to get what you truly want. Because what people do is they settle and get mad. They go get McDonald's and say, this nasty. Why you eat it for? Because circumstance made you eat it. You was broke. But if you truly wanted to live a fruitful life, you would save up and go to the restaurant you truly want to go to. And the thing is, it ain't even about money. It's usually about access. You might want to go to the Vietnamese and get some pho. They cost about the same much with the McDonald's prices, but you have to invest more to get there. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? A person's desire has to go as far as their desire. Like you have to want to work as much for it as it's worth. So say I want a mansion, that means I'm gonna have to at least put in half a worth of a mansion to see that the mansion is for me. Like, how you think it's gonna happen? Just for free? No. You gotta be just as delusional as the delusion. You know, so and everything else God will take care of. If you get close enough to what you want, God will do the rest. And yeah, I think that people right now, if we really want something, really, really work for it. If you want, for myself, for the longest time, I didn't want to get married. I didn't want to have children. Not to say I didn't want, life is just too busy. And also women nowadays. So I had to start really saying, you know, it's not about you. What does God want you? If He wants you to procreate and make a future, make a family, have a wife, then you need to ask yourself, okay, I can't win this argument. I can't win this war. What does God truly want me to admit about myself and what I desire? So I had to kind of say, like, catch-22. If my future is not my own, I need to figure out which one of these restaurants I want to go to because I have to eat something tonight. And then you just cancel out which one. It could be all bad choices, all good choices. It doesn't matter. You have to pick one. That's the whole point of life. You have to choose something. And now I'm ready because I understand like a lot of what we think is about choice isn't. We don't have as much agency as God allowed us to think we have. We think we have more choice than we do, and we really don't. There's only two choices: God's choice and then the other choice, which is anything you want it to be until you need God again. So I think option A is better. But it takes you years to figure out that God's choice is the right one because God's choice is very simplistic, it's very boring, it's very very conservative. If you like a conservative life, you will like God's way. If you don't, you'll have issues. If you like a reckless, wild life, God's way might not be the move. But yeah, this year you need to really ask yourself, does what I want really align with what is meant for me? That needs to be 2026. And I'll end it there.